Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
All
All right, I'm
right.
gonna go horizontal, lock it. Sorry, I'm running off my phone, having that go
No,
horizontally from the stand behind me.
no
Just
worries.
mute my phone, tighten that. All right, I'm in frame and I'm the controller for the light here. Down a bit. It's way too orange. All right, does this look okay to you?
Looks good to
Either
me.
this, or this.
Let's go with the first one.
This one?
Yeah,
I can lower the brightness. I can't really tell for me. Is this okay? Should I go more brightness or less?
probably right in the middle.
So, I don't know. This is max, but that's definitely too bright. So maybe like this is in the middle.
Yeah, that
That
looks
look good
good.
to you?
Yeah,
All right, perfect. It's well after dark for me, so I
no
have no
worries.
natural light.
No worries.
All right, let me just grab a deck. There we go. Deck of choice. Once again, golden knocks.
Nice. Solid
Oh,
choice.
all right. Is there another magician joining us?
Not today. Hopefully for
Just
future
us.
one. Yeah, hopefully for future ones, but trying out different ones with different people, getting the
Yeah,
collaborations
sure.
out there.
So, what are we doing today?
So I have an idea for a routine, and we're just going to come up with a method to do it. So the idea
Okay.
I have is it's kind of like a two-parter thing. So I have
Mhm.
an invisible deck, and people ask, okay, where do you get an invisible deck? Oh, the same place I get an invisible watch. And then I go into like a premise of making the deck appear, and then do it like they pick a card, and their card is something's different about their card. And in the process, I make the watch appear on my arm after the deck has appeared. I don't know if for the invisible deck, make the entire thing invisible and make the box also, or have the box and it's empty, and then the deck appears inside of it, or something like that. Either way, I think would be equally
Wow.
impressive.
That is quite the routine, and there's so many different ways of going about that.
Definitely.
Like even just with the deck, like you could start with an empty box, or you could start with a paper that transforms into a box, and then slowly more cards appear, or you could, start with actually invisible deck where all the cards are see-through, and then slowly phase more cards into it. There's a lot that could be done there. I'm excited to work through
Definitely.
this with you.
I don't want it to be too slow for the appearance because I think that's the first step. So like the invisible deck, they take the cards out, they're looking through and they pick one. And then I don't know if we do the typical invisible deck approach of they put it back upside down and when the real deck appears, their card's upside down, or if their card's missing, or if like it's missing a corner or something. Something's different about the card they chose. I'm not too sure which would be the best.
Hmm. Why don't we just pose ourselves the challenge right now and we say we go with something more unique? We don't just go with it's upside down.
Okay.
That's too easy to
Yeah.
accomplish. There's too many different ways. You could load it from an index. You could just find it, cull it, flip it, do like a pants turnover or something like that. Too many different ways of doing that. Let's go with something super unique, never been done before. So you mentioned tearing a corner off. So like their card would be the only one tearing a corner off. I
Potentially.
like that.
That's one option.
Uh, a different back would be
Oh, that'd
kind
be
of
good.
if you're using an index,
That'd be good too.
that's the solution there. Um, the first thing, like the thing that jumped out to me most was having a corner torn off,
Okay.
and that didn't have an instant answer in my mind.
Okay.
So are you happy to go with that?
That works with me. I think it's good.
Because that can be worked into the story of, oh yeah, just tear the corner off your invisible card so we know it's yours.
And it leaves them with a
And
souvenir at the end too.
yeah, yeah, that's true. And then even opens up possibility for perhaps the torn corner to appear somewhere. But
Okay,
you've got perhaps a mental force for that.
probably. With the torn corner appearing, they tear the corner off the invisible deck, they put the card back in the deck, and they hand you the corner, and then you make it appear. but then the rest of the cards in the deck.
That's yeah, okay. All right, let's figure out how to do that. I
Yeah,
have
so
no
then
idea, and I'm excited.
we'll just need a mental force of some sort. Let's switch decks here
Um,
so I can tear cards.
yes, let me grab. Yeah, I have a bunch of cards. Give me 1 second. I'm just walking away. Two
No
things I want to
worries.
grab. Um, all right. I have a disposable deck,
Nice.
and I have a second watch because this one's got like the anti-theft.
Okay,
It's
here's
a
the
loop
thing.
that's tight.
I have one of those as well. I don't know which would be easier to slip on.
Yeah, that's why I just grabbed one with a traditional
Yeah,
latch.
so I have both because they're not having to take it off. Basically, the watch in my back pocket, and as they're focused there, I slip the watch on. So I don't know which would be more fluid if I use a traditional watch or one with the anti-theft stuff.
Um, the first thing I think of is a trick see if we're going fully unique, then we can't use this. But I am aware of a method used in what's his name? The co-founder of Vanishing Ink. He's got that trick, like reverse. The whole trick happens exact
Backwards?
opposite order.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen a few of those.
and part of that is the watch he puts in the glass, and then at the end or the end of the routine is the beginning of the trick. So the watch is back on his wrist then.
Mhm.
If you're familiar with that trick, that's an easy out, and it would be easier to use one of these watches
Yeah.
that doesn't open for that.
Okay. I'm vaguely familiar with it. Again, I've seen some other different versions of that as well. So I know there's different methods. The watch one I wasn't too worried about. I'd have it like whatever watch I chose to use in my back pocket. And then I was thinking for the timing of it, when I told them it's an invisible deck, and have them I set it on the table, and when they're messing with it, they're focused there so that I can just
Yeah,
casually
yeah,
arm
there's
it behind
lots
my
of
back and
cover
put
to
the watch
do
on.
a million different things there. Yeah.
Definitely.
Um, okay, so uh, are here's my sort of perspective on creating magic. The first thing I need to do is create because there's too many different ways this could go. So I have to restrict myself so that I can, think about it more efficiently and effectively. So the first question I'd ask here is, do you have like a list of requirements that you want for this trick? What boxes must it check?
Not particularly, just kind of fit that overall theme and practicality. Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be like super practical. I know everyone has their own different performance styles, so I just wanted to fit within the vein of my performance style. If it's entirely practical, but it's something I never perform, I don't necessarily want to do that, but that's kind of as we go finding things out. Like I like that, I don't like that, different stuff like things. Outside of that, there's not really specific boxes it has to check outside of that storyline.
Okay. All right, so just fit to the storyline and that's it.
Yeah.
Why don't we dive straight into the torn corner
Okay.
conundrum? I assume we can speak freely here with no need to
Yeah, no.
uh,
Free speaking.
encode methods.
Yeah, free
Okay,
able to speak.
perfect. In that case, torn corner tricks. What do I know about it? Let me not think about what I know. I'll try and be fully original here. So if the premise is, they have an invisible deck, maybe you hand them a real box. So if we're not going like, uh, if the main hit of it isn't the deck slowly appearing, and we're not doing phase at a time of the deck appearing, is that correct? You don't really want to go down that route?
Correct, because I don't want that to be the main focus of the trick. So
Yeah.
either the two options I was thinking, don't hand them anything, but tell them it's an invisible deck, and then make the deck and the box appear simultaneously in some way. Or hand them an invisible box. Like, do you feel anything? No, it's because it's an invisible deck, but they have the box, and they're just in there, and then make the deck appear all at once. So either the deck appears all at once, or the deck and box appear all at once.
Okay, the first thing I'm thinking is, can I do a gambler's cop of an entire deck?
Maybe.
Kind of, but it's not that natural for
Yeah.
me. Maybe if I bevel the cards backwards, it'll be a bit easier. Hang on. Let me tilt the angle down. There we go. Bring myself up. something like it's not the most natural, but let me turn my light down a bit.
It could that could work for a deck appearance. So like there's nothing, and then
Yeah, so
there's the
you
deck.
take the box out, put it in their hand, and then there's nothing in there. Okay, maybe I take the box back, and I so say it's this box. I take the box back, and I'm you load it under, and then you just sort of okay, let me just shake out that invisible deck, something like
Okay,
that.
that could work. Or like the same thing of if there's nothing there, they hand it back to you, and then while they're focused there, you get from like a pocket or something, and the same concept. Okay, what if we brought it out and then it's the deck?
Yeah,
So the same premise would work there.
yeah. So the deck appearance is just one moment towards the beginning of the trick.
Correct.
It doesn't have to be too complex. So it can be as simple as just Gambler's Cop the whole deck, or
Okay.
just give it an ugly palm
Yeah.
and just, oh, can I see that box? Yeah, load it behind the box and then open up the flap and just sort of from behind tip it out.
Yeah.
Quick, non-moment, but,
Or
as long as
even
your body language is natural,
even like a
they're not going to
Tenkai
be
would work.
questioning it. A Tenkai for the whole deck.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
box or something, even because I think you're able to hold a little more natural and you have less angle sensitivity there, and you can do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, so sort of, let me just use the actual. But what would be the mechanics specifically for that? How would we work around the mechanics of the deck appearing? Would it be you just load it behind the box, then say, have the flap facing towards the rest of the deck, so that way you can go, okay, let me open the thing and pull out the cards, something like that?
Well, because with the premise of the storyline, you could do it that way. If you're just given the box, say, okay, it's an invisible deck, and then do like the watch bit, like it's the same place you get an invisible watch. You give them the deck, okay, take it, open it, and they're doing all this. Pretend to take out the cards, fan through them, pick one, put the rest down, tear the corner, hold on to the corner, put the other card in the deck, put it back in the box, and they put it in the box and they hand you the box like this. So you're already set. And then when they hand you back the box, you have the deck in cop or something or Tenkai,
Hmm.
and then you can go from there or whatever. That was a little clunky, but
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. The exact, how would you, so maybe you go at like a much deeper Tenkai.
or would it
Um,
then for that specific one, would it be easier to not have the box in play at all until the whole deck appears, and then go through that whole first point, and they're imagining the box, they're imagining the deck, they hand it back to you, like, okay, I have the invisible deck here, and then making the whole thing appear.
that might be more practical, and it still keeps the deck invisible at the point of choosing the card, which really drives home the free choice
Definitely.
aspect there. Um, yeah, I like that. Less things in play at the same time then.
Yeah.
Makes things more straightforward, easy to follow, and more practical potentially. So a deck appearance then, with or without the box. Maybe the box never goes into play, but the box does have an interesting aspect of being able to hold the corner for later.
Okay.
So
So they don't hand you back the box. You have the box aside is invisible, but the corner's in there already. They're playing with the cards.
yeah,
They hand you the invisible deck, and then you make those appear.
that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Or the box can be in play from the start, but not in their control.
Yeah.
So I take out what appears to be an empty box, but there's for now we'll put a placeholder on this and call it the corner of one card. We'll figure that out later, but that's already loaded in here, and you kind of not clearly show it, but you toss it around, you make it clear you're holding an empty box. So I have a deck of cards here, tip out nothing, so you
Another
can flash it a little bit.
another
And
option
they say,
for
take the
that
invisible dunk.
is keep the cellophane on for new decks and have the corner between the box and the cellophane. So it's there the entire time and they don't realize because it's on like the bottom of the box.
That works. Yes. And then it can sort of be in sight the whole time
Yeah.
for the final reveal.
Okay.
Okay. So then Then they take the invisible deck, they shuffle it, look through it, pick a card, tear the corner off, um, give you the invisible deck back. You can tell them, oh yeah, just take that and I don't know, just throw it at the box or something,
Yeah.
or throw it on the table next to the box, something like that. And that already lines it up to be, yeah, throw it on the table next to the box. They're holding nothing, they'll just do that. But
Yeah.
that sets it up for later of, oh, you threw it into the box. And then the deck appearance could just be like, okay, so I have the deck. Let me just try and, or I don't know,
Yeah.
something like
However
that.
it works. So then the part we have to come up with then is the card, how to get them to pick the card that we have the corner
So
prepared.
at this point, if just like the invisible deck routine, this would be the point where they name their selection out loud. Um, how comfortable are you with stack work?
Depending on the stack. Okay, with that, that is an option. I was thinking they named the card beforehand, before the decks even appeared.
That does work, yeah.
How would it work in
So
stack?
maybe
What are
the
you thinking with the stack? How would that work?
stack to locate the correct card to while talking, uh, be able to somehow get the corner torn off. That was my first thought there.
Okay. I feel like they could
So
work, but
you
it's a
have
little bit dirty.
you have name it, you do a cut, look, check if you've got it or not, do a few cards more, a few cards less until you get it perhaps at the bottom. And then if you sort of slide the bottom card out a
Yeah.
bit like that, hold it in your hand like this, it just looks like you're holding the deck, but from the back you have that whole bottom of the card
Yeah.
to play with. Tear off the corner really quick.
Okay.
Um, Now I don't know how smooth that could actually
Yeah,
be.
it's a little harder to hide.
Yeah, or else just cop it out. Get their card to the bottom, cop it out, and you can straight away hand them back the deck.
Hmm.
So it feels like perhaps they have the deck, and then while they're handling the deck, you've copped out their card. You have a great chance to go into your pocket and rip the corner.
Okay. Do you get the card back in the deck?
You're right that they'd have to hand it back to you again, but what justification could that be natural for the deck to go back and forth
Yeah,
that
so
many
I think
times?
the easiest option is already have the one there, especially because if you're tearing it, you then have to get the corner inside the cellophane. And I think it's nicer to have it there from the beginning so you don't have to worry about it. I think the easiest way is a card force, but I don't know which one would be the most efficient, especially since you're not having cards to force.
A deck in, yeah, the deck isn't in play yet because it's invisible.
Yeah,
So that leaves mental force, but that's not my area of
it's not mine
expertise.
either.
Um, there is products available like digital force bag, something like that. Uh, you know, there's always the patter of just I want you to know that your selection is random, but I also need you to acknowledge the fact that human decision making isn't random.
Yeah.
Ace of Spades is the most common one uh, named at all. For females specifically, it's Queen of Hearts.
Hmm.
After that is, you go on like that and say, so everything is biased. There's certain card, it's not a fully random choice. So let's make it a fully random choice. And then go into digital force bag or
Or another one
um,
is Magician's Choice can be worked in there somehow, but I don't want it to be encompassing. It's like I don't want it to be like
yeah, there's like a
a minute and
verbal
a half
force
of
bag.
Magician's Choice. If there's like a moment or two, I think that's fine. But
There's been some great work done on that to get it down as quick as possible. Yeah, there's a really quick way of getting down to a queen is to say like Kian, which cards are more interesting to you? Picture cards or number cards?
probably picture,
Picture cards, right. Now there's the men and the women. What do you want to do? Do you want to burn the women or save the men?
save the men.
save the man, right?
Okay, yeah,
So
interesting
that's,
angle there.
with female you swap it, but that gets you to a queen if you swap it for a woman. For you, I said, burn the women or save the men. Otherwise, it would be burn the men or save the women.
Yeah,
Um, so that gets you down in two questions. You're down to either a queen or a king and a jack,
yeah,
whichever one you want. I would be more inclined to take the extra step and go for king and a jack because after you've just gone on about, popular card choices, if it's a queen, that seems a bit fishy to some people, I would say. Or
okay,
maybe that's me overthinking it. Maybe no one would think about that. Maybe you wouldn't even have to at that point then give the excuse of, oh, yeah, sorry, now I'm thinking wrong. Because you should only have to explain, uh, why decision making is flawed to move away from it. That's for if you're using digital force bag. But this is decision making, so you wouldn't even explain that at all. So it's fine if they get to a queen. It still feels like a random choice.
yeah,
So yeah, two questions and you're at a queen.
okay. Then we got
Um,
to get it down to a suit, though.
yeah, down to a suit. That's a 1 in 4. Uh, how to get down from there? You could do something with flipping a coin, or is that, going too broad? Flipping a coin, rolling a dice, something like
I
that.
think that's too much of a non sequitur. Like, okay, we're doing this. Let's have this side thing for one instance and then coming back. I don't think it quite connects as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. So what's more interesting? Picture a number. Then an easy force to a queen. There's something in the back of my mind about a force 1 to 4, but I can't quite think of it. Um,
I know there's suggestive forces that are more reliable. No, 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 100% reliable, but they're more reliable, especially in quick situations where the spectator. I know Danny Ortiz talks about if you ask them a question, they can't think of what they're doing, so it's easier to force. So applying that, so it'd be like if you have spades, clubs, diamonds, hearts. If we're trying to force hearts, like spades, clubs, diamonds, or hearts, which one do you want? And they're more likely to pick hearts because you emphasize that one and you make eye contact. They're more likely to pick it. So that might be
yeah.
one option, but it's not a guarantee.
Okay, well, you just brought up an interesting point there, which is if you don't really allow them the time to think about they're more likely to take the suggestion.
Yeah.
That brings a perfect way into fuse that force in with the rest of the trick. So after you get down to the value of the card, now it's time for the suit. It both makes it work. It makes it both work together better and gives you a higher success rate at the suit force, which would be to at that point right before you introduce the suit force, you introduce the invisible deck, shuffle it, and I think a lot of their attention is then going to be on how do I shuffle an invisible deck? What does that look like?
Okay.
Because I know whenever I've done the invisible deck, the as it's typically done, I give it to them, and I do notice they take a second to really think about how would I, it's not
Yeah.
just shuffle this invisible deck, okay, and they do that.
Yeah.
They take a second, they're processing that request, so that could be the perfect moment to then ask the question, clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds.
Okay. This is running that could work. Another option too that I was kind of thinking of is I like that idea of shuffling it, but I was thinking of two different ways. Either introduce that but have outs, so if they pick the other ones, have some way to maybe do like a side trick inside the trick to deal with those, or so they have the invisible deck. Might tell, okay, spread it out, and then okay, which is more interesting to you, the face cards and the numbers? Okay, the face cards. So find the face cards in your invisible deck. Okay, with those, like you said, the save the ladies or burn the men. And then okay, they either way you're out of the queens. Okay, find the four queens. Which one of those? Okay, find the four queens. Set them aside here and shuffle the rest of the cards. Name a suit, and if they name the correct one, you take that one. You go with it. If they name the wrong one, are you sure? If they want to change their mind, they can. If not, okay, we'll take that one. We're gonna get rid of it entirely and then name another one. So kind of more of the magician's choice, but it's formatted differently.
Okay. Uh, what about that's a good idea, but you've just said something that gave me an idea. What if we are once again overthinking this? Why don't we just let this trick have multiple outs.
Okay.
Why not just have four separate corners? One in the box of the cellophane.
Okay.
One can be actually physically inside the box,
Yeah.
right? Uh, one can be,
An appearance, you just make it like appear from your pocket.
yeah, one can be from the pocket, just like a visualize it and make that
Yeah.
appear, like you do with a coin.
Or the last one is under the watch that you just made appear.
Oh, perfect. Yes, I
Okay.
hadn't even gotten that part. That's
I like
perfect. How
it.
do you feel about that then?
I like it.
Multiple
The only thing is,
for the whole trick.
how do we get the card in the deck? The torn card.
Yeah, we
Especially if we
didn't
have
get to that far yet.
I understand how we could do two, because depending on when you make the deck appear, you can do two. So if I spread this way, you'll see one corner. If I spread the other way, you can see a different corner. But for four corners, it's
Mhm.
a little bit harder.
Yes. With a little memory, so if you have a one-way back design like I do, you know if it's up or down, it's easy to remember.
Yeah.
There is actually a way of doing four. Exactly what you said. One corner is up here, the other is down here, so which way you go.
Yeah.
But you can do one of them is at like I don't know, five cards down, and the other is five cards up from the
Okay.
bottom.
So you're
So you
talking
just know
half
if
the
you
deck.
remember what you're looking for, you can just block push over. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or you can like, how kind of like the typical invisible deck. If you spread this way, it's some cards. If you flip it over and spread from the other way, you'll get different ones. So with that split 50-50, the top half, there's one here, and then the bottom half, there's one here and one here. And depending on which way you need to go, you'll only go that far in that half of the deck.
Mhm. But that's a good idea, but does that open us up to the same vulnerability of the invisible deck trick, which is a lot less inspectability?
Well, I think if we're
I'd
having
feel a
four
lot
cards
more
in there to begin with, it removes the inspectability.
inspect
Same
in a
with
way, yeah.
with the box.
Definitely
If we have one corner
altogether,
in
yeah.
the box, one out, then we can. What if we break it down to instead of four corners, we have two?
Okay. That's one more 50-50 we need to take care of.
Yeah. So
But that could just be reds or blacks
yeah, right.
pick.
Yeah, either way, and then we're down to only having to predict for two of them. We have two outs.
Okay. One in the box, one under the watch.
Yeah, it's like one in the cellophane, one under the watch.
Yeah, I really like the idea of one under the watch. So that's probably like the one you're gonna hope for,
Yeah.
right? So maybe we make that one hearts, let's say, if we're
Okay.
going for the road suits, because I
Okay.
feel like that one's the one most likely going to be named. Or if we say clubs or spades, I think there's probably a higher chance of spades being named over clubs than there is hearts being named over diamonds. I think clubs are some of the least named suits in my experience of performing.
Definitely. So are we wanting to do reds or blacks?
I would go with blacks. Yeah,
Blacks.
because I feel like there's a lot more people who are going to say spades
Okay.
over clubs.
Let me.
And if we go hearts and diamonds, it's going to be closer to 50-50.
Yeah,
More influenced by hearts, I would assume, but still closer to 50-50 than clubs and spades would be. Yeah, let me take out my
okay.
four aces.
I was getting my two queens.
Oh, queens, yes. I don't know why I got aces in my head.
Okay, and then I need to find one with some cellophane on it. I'll use this one. Take that off. Put this one in. Maybe.
Okay, there is one problem that I had in my head with the typical magician's choice, which I think I avoided by using interesting questions. But then if we're going back to reds or blacks, which one? It's too vague and that's a bit see-through,
Yeah.
but there's always room for them to genuinely believe that they misinterpreted you. So we could phrase that question specifically when it goes to red or black. We could specifically phrase that question as red or black, which one will you keep? Right?
Yeah.
So then they say reds, but we're hoping they say blacks. So they said reds, that's fine. You keep the reds in the deck.
Yeah, so you can phrase it either way.
Or
I've always phrased it, which one do you want to remove? Okay, we get rid of the reds, remove those. Or we remove the blacks, you're holding on to the blacks. So I've said, yeah, there's definitely linguistic ways you can get around it.
yeah, my style, I try to avoid which one do you want to remove because if you do end up saying, okay, remove the reds, as in they're gone, we got rid of them,
Yeah.
it doesn't tie in as well because it's not like you removed the rest of the deck. So I don't know, something that's always struck me about that is odd. But that's just my perspective, knowing what I'm doing. I'm not actually certain if it sounds the way I'm hearing it to other people. It's probably not.
Okay. So let's see. So you've gone out, you're left with the queens. So we're okay, four it was like four cards is too many. So which ones do you want? The reds or the blacks? And then we can do that suggestive force again. And if they pick the wrong one, you want the reds? Okay, so we'll keep the reds to the side and we'll use the blacks and phrase it that way. Oh, you want the blacks? Okay, we'll use the blacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds more natural.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
there's not one option that's like, oh, you want to use the reds. All right, then we won't use the reds.
Yeah.
Which is my big fear with the magician's choice. I know it's such a rudimentary
No, I get
concept.
it.
It's not something I should still be uncomfortable with, but I must admit I am. But
I
I like it
understand.
that way.
Okay.
Okay, so we have then two queens. I'll tear off their corners. There we go.
I
Two
tore off
cornerless queens.
the wrong corners. Let me try this again.
There we
Luckily,
go.
I
Two
have copious
cornerless queens.
amounts of extra blue bicycle cards, so I can burn through as many of these as is needed.
I need to order some more bicycles. I went for a long time just not taking care of my inventory, and I drive a motorbike, and a lot of the times I was going to a gig on a motorcycle, and because I live in Ireland, that means rain.
Fair.
And whenever I wouldn't expect rain, I just have the decks laying in my back
Yeah.
or laying in my backpack, and I just get to the gig and find copious amounts of water damage on my cards. So now I started having to, no matter, even if all I see is sun for miles and miles in the sky, it doesn't matter. I'm putting them in a plastic bag.
Makes sense.
So now that we only have two cards with tears on them, do you want to do like the invisible deck, one way, one the other, or do you want to do one closer to the top and one closer to the bottom?
I like the one way, one the other. I mean,
Okay, we can try it that way.
we'll see, because it's a little harder to remember directions with a bicycle deck.
Yeah, no, I have a one-way back design, so
Yeah, it
it's
makes it a
fine
little
for me.
easier. So let's see. Did I rip the wrong corners again? Why am I like this? Top left from the back. Okay.
Wait, I think I did it as well. Hang on. See, that only works if the cards are upside down. I know what you mean by ripped the wrong corners.
Yeah.
So that works
Gotta
if the
spread it
corners are
backwards.
down.
Okay, we
Yeah,
got
okay.
face
So
down. Rip the top left. There we go.
yeah, okay. So those are ripped off. We forced the two black queens. That's down pretty consistently. Uh then you have, one way, one the other. I'll flip that deck the other half. Just once you know which side it's coming out of, the box, I mean.
Well, the box has been in play the entire time, so it's just keeping track of which way the deck goes, which I think that might be easy enough to do with like a crimp or something. Or I know that when you have the deck like hidden, you can riffle and find which corner's where. It's just keeping track of it. Maybe catching like a glimpse.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Or
definitely you can find it without looking by riffling.
I've seen
Yeah,
this
it
other
is
ways
such a
too.
natural break for me.
Having the bottom card be your directional key card. It's like the ace of spades is a directional card. So if I have it pointing
Yeah.
this way, I know it's one. If I face it this way, I know it's a different one. So then when the deck's
Yeah,
in play,
okay.
I just have to see the bottom card and I know my direction.
Yeah, okay. If we're using the club in the spade, then it makes sense. If spade is pointing up the correct way,
Yeah, then it's the
it's
spade.
a spade. Yeah, that makes sense. Then there's no losing track. I can't tell you how many times I've done the invisible deck and pulled it out the wrong way and just gone, oh, let me shuffle, and just done some fake
Yeah,
shuffle
fair,
just to get
fair.
the deck turned over
Yeah.
and have an excuse for a different face card showing then. Ooh.
Okay, well now I have to match my corners because I tore the opposite corners. I don't know which one's which. That's the spade. Okay, so we want the spade under the watch and the club in the box. So I'll put this in here.
That one points up, the club points down.
Okay, so I have the deck is in like my pocket or something, or back pocket, and
Yeah,
the watch is in a back pocket. And then we're gonna see. So I bring out the box. I'm like, okay, I hand it to them. Say, does it feel like there's cards in there? And they'll say no. And say, it's because it's invisible deck. And you're probably asking where you get an invisible deck, same place you get an invisible watch. And then I can make a joke like, oh, I saw you eyeing that. I got more for you. And I like do the jacket thing, and they're all invisible. That could be a fun joke. So they have the deck.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. They can open the box and pretend to take the cards out as long as they don't turn over because the card's there, but I don't think they would. They take the cards out, or even I could take them out and hand it to them. Okay, so you have your invisible deck there. Shuffle it, and while they're shuffling, okay, which intrigues you more, the face cards or the number
We're
cards or the
talking
face
about
cards? I'll phrase it that way. The number cards or the face cards? Oh, I don't even know where I
face
put my other
cards.
corner. Did I lose my other corner?
You can have mine. I keep it under my watch.
I don't know where I put that corner for the spade. All right, we're gonna get another queen of spades,
All right.
and then we'll go through this
Just
again.
so you know, you said number cards are face cards.
Yes,
When I first heard this, I can't remember the project I heard this about on, but when I first heard about this, the guy said it was I'm sorry, I am terrible at crediting things
you're
because I
good.
can never remember names. But if you do know, feel free to, correct me. I'll see if I can find it after. But anyway, the guy said you should say picture cards, not face cards, because
Okay,
picture cards sort of invoke that sense of imagination, which is always going to be more interesting than numbers.
I
And the
like that.
second thing is you should say that first before number.
Really?
So what do you find more interesting or what do you find more intriguing? Picture cards or number cards?
Because I was trying to do the other way where it's like number cards or picture cards. And that's the second one, so you're more likely to pick it, especially if I emphasize it. So either way, I think would be good. I like that picture as the articulation of it. So, okay,
Yeah,
they're pretending to shuffle their invisible deck and you say, okay, which intrigues you more, picture cards or number cards? And
picture cards.
if they say picture cards were good, if they say number cards, okay, maybe I could have known about you. We're gonna make it harder. So rather than something you might like, we'll switch to the other. So magician's choice there as a failsafe. And
All
then
right. It still
okay,
doesn't seem it's good because yeah, that's an obvious one, but it doesn't seem relevant yet,
yeah.
which is sort of a non-moment that will leave their head after.
Yeah. And then with that, okay, with the picture cards, do you want to save the ladies or burn the men? And then either way they pick,
Save the
okay,
lady.
yeah, with the left with the queens, they're shuffling. Okay, but before it's too many, which ones do you want to keep? The reds or the blacks? If they say reds, okay, pretend to take out the reds and set them to the side and we'll use the blacks. They say blacks, okay, take out the black ones. And with those, okay, so you're left with the queen of clubs and the queen of spades. Which one do you want? and then they pick, if you want, you can change, emphasize that a bit. They're holding their card. Tear the corner off, the top right corner off the card. So they tear it off and say, okay, put that card back in the deck and hand it to me. So they hand it to me. They're holding their pretend corner, and then I've gotten the deck in like a palm. Okay, they've handed me the deck, and I can make the deck appear so we can actually see. And then whichever one they've used, let's say they picked spades, I can go through and see, oh, there's one missing a corner. It's their card. Do we want the card face up or face down with the corners? If we do it face up, we can
Uh,
tear the other corner and it's a little bit more visual because they have the pip.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I initially tore it off with the pip,
That's what
but
I
then
did
realized,
first.
no, now it's the wrong way for the way I spread the deck.
Yeah,
If it's face down, that's also more visual. It's you're spreading through the deck and you see that back,
yeah,
and you just have to know whether or not you're doing a block pushover or
yeah.
if you're on the right side of the deck. And then you can so they see it
Well, even that way, you can
first.
still do the directional thing of which way to hold the deck.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in this case, you'd still need to know which one's higher or not. If it's directional,
Well, because
they're still
if I
going to
have
see
them
the
all
back
face
if they're
down,
both upside down.
I was thinking them all face down, and their card is the only face up one.
Oh, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you still need to know whether to block push over or not at the start. But what
yeah.
that ends up with then, here's the thing though. There's one interesting thing to note. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just wanted to bring it up to see which one you do prefer. Just
Okay,
wanted to clarify that first. You said have all the cards face down and their card is face up. But if you watch this, one card, Queen of Spades, with the corner torn off. But that's kind of ruining not ruining, but wasting some potential suspense there because this way they get all the information at once. One card's face up, it's my card, the corner's gone. But
okay,
if you do it the other way, all the
okay.
cards face up and one card face down, they get, look at that, one card face down, then you can remove it, the corner's gone, and then you can flip it and it's their card. So it's three entirely separate moments then.
I like that.
I feel like that use makes use of the potential suspense there even better.
Definitely. Okay, where did I throw all those old corners I tore wrong?
I feel bad now. You're wasting all these corners.
I don't think you realize how many I have.
How many do you have?
Okay, I can show you here, maybe. So this is just a drawer of half-used bicycle carts. Let's see. That's just blue bikes that I have extras of because none of them are full decks. So I'm
Yeah,
in no worry here of running out.
none of them are full decks. I love that.
Well, yeah, because
I
the thing
have,
is, if I lose a card or something, or I do a signed card trick, I'm going to keep the deck and use it for other stuff.
yeah, absolutely. Here, let me show you my drawer. It's not that tidy by any means, but this is all the Magic stuff I own. So in here is all the decks.
Okay,
It goes back a bit of just random decks. These are like working decks, and then one single borderless. And then these are all, it's like a thing full of all my gimmicked decks going back.
okay,
I've got 52 to 1 invisible deck. Actually, this guy is in the wrong place. I think I just put him there to remind myself not to use this too much.
fair.
But
See,
anyway,
that's
that's
just,
my mess. I have it packed pretty tightly though, because there's a lot in there and it's
yeah,
like Tetris. If I
that's
like
fair.
empty it out, I'm never getting it back in this drawer. It'll need three drawers then.
That's fair. See, mine's it's a little more extensive. That's just the unused one. So these are just gimmicks. I have those I haven't used. Then it goes all the way down. That's all my magic gimmick making stuff or whatever.
Yeah, I need to get myself one of those plastic drawers just for the decks.
It
But
definitely
then I have
helps.
a mountain of cardboard boxes of this deck.
Fair, fair. Okay, spade,
Okay, so if we
clubs.
do, um, if we
This.
just have one of them towards the top of the deck and one towards the bottom,
Yeah.
and we are going with, um, and we are going with all
Well, if we're
face
doing it
up
that way, it doesn't matter
except
for
that
direction.
card.
The
Yeah,
direction can be
direction
anywhere.
doesn't matter. You just need to remember spades is closer to the top, clubs or vice versa.
Yeah. So I'll do,
Just to do a pushover.
yeah.
It definitely simplifies the things to remember and consider in the moment.
Okay. And we have the spade, the club goes in the box. I don't need that.
Yeah, so for me, I'll put the club in the box and spade. I don't know. Would I get a bit of sticky tape or like rubber cement and stick it temporarily to the inside of the watch, like from the underneath of the watch, so that
My
I can
plan
put
was
it
just
on later?
have it in the pocket. So as I'm putting the watch on, I just slide it under at the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm overthinking things.
Yeah. Saves a gimmick
Yeah,
there.
if you're
But
already in the pocket, yeah, why not?
yeah, so okay, well we'll go from the top again. I hand them the box. So does it feel like anything? No, it's because it's invisible deck. Where do you get that same place as invisible watch? And then do the whole joke thing. They hold that. I'll take the cards out. I hand it to them, and the box is there in view. Hand them the cards. They're shuffling. Okay, we have picture cards or number cards. Which intrigues you more? I just dropped the corner out of my back pocket. There it is. Okay. Whichever one they pick, we got on the picture cards. So save the women or burn the men. Either way, we're down to the queens. Okay, with the queens, which do you want to which do you want to keep? The reds or the blacks? If they say reds, okay, keep those to the side. We'll use the blacks for now. If they say blacks, okay, pull out the two black ones. We have the club, queen of clubs with queen of spades. Which one do you want? And then are you sure they're holding the queen of spades? Tear off the top left corner and hand me put the other card in the deck and hand me the whole deck. So they're holding their corner. I have the whole deck. Say, okay, it's a little hard to see it though with an invisible deck. So let's make it into a real deck. Either way. And you said the Queen of Spades will go through. I got to take out my other Queen of Spades in this deck. There's one card the wrong way, and then it's their card, but it's a little hard. You can tell it's missing a corner. They tore the corner off. But not only when the deck becomes visible, the watch also becomes visible. And when you do that, the corner that you tore off becomes visible as well. Like something like that. That was a very rough performance.
Okay, there's one moment. There's one moment missing from that. That was almost good. Yeah, I mean, it
Okay,
was good. It was almost perfect. Sorry.
you're good.
There's one moment missing there. You've still left them. If you have a willing participant who's following along, you've still left them like this,
Yeah.
holding a corner. We need to figure out when they're
Okay.
gonna do something with that corner.
So with that, either so I can if they picked the club and that's the one that appears under the box, we'll do that. So the deck appears, and when the deck appears, the watch appears. Pretty crazy. I know you weren't watching that, and then they throw the corner at the box when at the end, and it becomes there. If they're doing the spade, I don't reveal the watch has appeared yet. They hold it. So the deck appears, and you take it. It's their card. It's missing the corner. They're holding it. They throw it up in the air, and I catch it but it doesn't go in my hand. It goes under my watch that's now appeared also. So I just delay when the watch appears.
Okay, yeah, that's really good.
I
That's
like it.
really good. And I really like the idea of actually having the watch in view. So you get the watch ready, perfect time when you're doing the force, letting them make decisions. They're thinking about the questions they're being asked, not what you're doing. So hands behind the back, it's not that unnatural, actually.
Yeah.
You get the watch on, and you can come out and you don't want to go like this to them, but
No, but yeah, it's displayed.
it's on. You don't draw attention to it, but there's potential for them to see it the whole time. As
Exactly.
long as you don't talk, like this
Yeah.
and shove it in their face. Yeah, I really like that. And then ideally spades, and at the very end, throw it up in the air and I catch it. And
But
I
it's
didn't
not.
quite catch it under here. I actually caught it in the watch, which has now become visible.
Yeah.
But if I just go inside, something else has become visible as well. Yeah,
I like
that's
it.
really good.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, this is fun.
I like it as well.
I had this idea for this trick the other day, and I was thinking I had no idea how to go about it, but I did the same thing with the last one I did with other people, and it ended up turning out to be a good trick. So I think this has been a successful trick.
Yeah, me too. But there's one more thing I'd like to add to it.
Okay.
Um, I like to follow this set of rules, like I said, for when I'm creating my own tricks. And one of the rules is for multiple outs, every out has to be just as strong or the potential to be just as strong as the best one.
Yeah.
Because as long as there are multiple possible outs in the long run, a lot of people are going to get all of them. So there's two. We're hoping for spades, but it's going to happen. It's not a surefire thing that they say spades. So
Yeah.
we want the clubs out to be just as strong,
Which I think
right?
it is
Because this is
because
a great trick. But what if you show it? What if, you're out and I don't know, let's say you meet Ryan Reynolds and he says, "Show me your best trick." And and so you show him this trick thinking, yes, if he says spades, it's amazing. But what if he said clubs, right? You don't know Ryan Reynolds. You
yeah.
don't know what he's going to say. So you need to have the trick to a point, refined to a point where clubs is going to be just as strong. Now, I
Which
love how smooth it is to have the spade under the watch,
I think the clubs
but
is
the
because it
club out
separates
could
it.
be improved.
So the spades, because you're revealing the watch appeared at the same time, where the clubs, those are two separate moments. So you're amping up more rather than having one bigger hit at the end. So they pick clubs. Okay, the deck's appeared, just like my watch has appeared. But then you reveal the clubs in the deck. It's the only one missing. So I go through, find the club. It's missing, but you're still holding the corner. The box has been there the entire time in view that you had at the beginning. Throw it at the box, and they throw their corner, and it goes.
I'm with you.
And then if you can either show, but it's not inside the box. You threw it all the way through the box, and the corner's on the bottom, under the wrap.
Okay.
So I think it's equally as impressive. Again, from the magician's perspective, under the watch is a little bit better, but I think from a spectator's perspective, either one's good, especially because it's under there. How could they get it in the ceiling?
Yeah, being in there is good, but what I was thinking is there a more visual way of revealing it rather than just take it, throw it at the box? All right, look, it's gone. Well, you didn't quite get it in the box. You went under. That, yeah, I like the movement of that, but I'm wondering, is there a more visual way of that reveal
Okay.
of the corner inside the cellophane? This doesn't have cellophane, but
Would it be better to have the corner upside down so the corner's a mystery as well?
I mean, take every beat you can earn, right?
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, have the corner in the cellophane so they just see the corner. You take it out, you can show the pip. I kind of tore it badly. You can't
No, no
quite see the
worries. So
spade.
there's a corner all the way through, and then you have to take it out, maybe.
Oh, you took a big corner.
Yeah, I intentionally got it. It's just a little more visual, but it has the whole pip on there with the other thing, and then they can match it with the card at the end to make sure it's the same.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, okay, in order to like, I was thinking something like you have the box and maybe you just shake it, and then on the other side of the shake, you see the corner on it. But that's going to require an entirely gimmicked box, and I
Yeah,
don't think that's like that. That's its own separate trick.
yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, throw it in the box, open, but you didn't actually get it in the box. You got it all the way through. Yeah, that movement is really
I
nice.
like it. Or even phrasing is throw.
I don't
You're gonna
think there
throw it
is a
at the
need to
box. They
improve
throw
that
it.
actually.
Let's see. Oh wait, that didn't work. And I can even show this freely, and it looks like I'm showing both sides. Like, it didn't work. What if you didn't get it in the box, but you went all the way through the box, so you can make it seem like it didn't work?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, that gets its own hit then.
Yeah. And again, I can show
Yeah,
this.
oh, it's
It
not in the
looks
box.
like if I hold my hand here, I can show both sides of the box and just cover the corner at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Oh, even better. There actually is something visually you can do there. Yeah, okay. And it's strikingly simple. Um, yeah, this isn't open yet. Let me find one. Okay, okay, I have one in cellophane here. So the cellophane is really easy to slide up and down, right?
Yeah.
So what if you don't want it to end at the bottom, you want it to end at the top? You can put it in the cellophane, uh, and when you're holding it, you can actually have the cellophane down here under the
Okay.
cover of the hand, right?
Yeah.
So then you can even, you can even turn, show them, they see the top has no corner, but if you pinch the corner of the card as you slide the cellophane, now it's at the top where they just saw was
Okay.
empty.
Yeah, I like that. Make it seem like
So
it
that
appears
gives it
visually.
its visual aspect then.
Okay. I like it. Now I just gotta go out and practice it.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of that might be a bit knacky to work out how to hold the deck. I mean, with my corner, I can actually cover it with one finger. With your corner, you're going to
Takes
need
two.
maybe three fingers. Oh,
I can
two
do
fingers.
I
Okay.
can do a two depending on how it's oriented.
Yeah, yeah. So if you have it here at the top, it's sitting down. You hold it, you're just covering it. It's still at the top. You ask them to throw it, and as you open the box, that's the perfect moment for you to just slide that cellophane back.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't go in the box. Did it go on the back? No, it's not there. Hang on, let me close the box. And as you close it, just, as you push that thing in, you push the whole deck back, sliding the cellophane back up. So
Yeah.
now it's in the very spot they were just looking at. It
Okay.
might be a bit harder for you to do it because for me, again, I have a small piece.
It
Your
was
piece is
working
a
pretty
lot
well. It's like when
bigger.
I have it here, it's like, oh, you didn't throw it in the box? Okay, let me try. What if I close this and then I can it's there.
Yeah, see what I mean about when your finger pushes that tab in, you can actually slide with that finger, slide the whole deck back
Yeah,
into the cellophane fully.
I like that.
And it puts it back in the position they were just looking at.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Okay.
But that leaves us with one issue,
Which one?
uh, and I think this might be the final issue of the trick, the final thing to figure out, and it's just a scripting thing, small thing. What is the correct way to call attention to that spot on the back? Is it maybe went in the box? No, no. Did you go on the back? No, there's nothing there. Let's close it and
Well, I think
oh,
it'd
look at
be
that.
I think
Or
it
is
more
it's a
subtle than
better
that.
way?
So the box had been here the entire time, and you threw it. Did it go in the box? No. And like when I look, they can see there's nothing there. So rather than saying, is it here? No. Is it here? No. They're visually seeing it. They see there's nothing there, but they're not. I'm not pointing attention to it. No, there's nothing in the box. Okay, what if when I close it here and then the card appears?
Yeah, okay. So is there, you threw it in the box, but I'm not looking, so I don't know that.
Yeah,
I'm looking for their reaction. I don't see one. So actually, this is an interesting position because from here, if you have the tab pulling down, you're actually hiding the cellophane
yeah,
sticking out. It's covered. And you're also in a good position to lift up then, and your fingers are then covering it. So you don't have to like adjust, maneuver your hand around,
yeah,
avoiding the crinkling sound. Yeah, okay. You do have to pay attention to the direction of the box then, but just keep it so the tab opens downwards.
yeah,
You show it. Oh, is it in the box? You're covering it. You let them get a good few seconds, maybe a solid 2 seconds of oh, so no, it didn't work. Wait,
yeah. There
something
you
like
go.
that.
Make it a visual
So
moment.
if you not delay but slow down the time it takes you to look into the deck, that
Yeah,
gives them enough time to focus on that back.
yeah.
That's
Whether they
weird.
realize it or not.
Or what
So
if I don't know? I suppose that's probably entire that final reveal
it
of
looks good, but I think it's a little fishy.
maybe.
I think some spectators, maybe not most, but some was like, oh, his hand moved up, he had it there, maybe. I think it may be a small percentage of people would think that, but I like the visualness. It's hands free. I'm not doing anything, and then it appears.
Yeah. I'm gonna test this. Yeah,
Okay.
this is kind of one. you can't really answer that question until you do the trick.
Definitely.
See if people do it 10 times, see how many times people notice,
Definitely.
and what the right words to say are to not make it seem synthetic. You
Yeah.
know, it needs to seem authentic. So I, yeah, that's just a small scripting thing then, and also up to personal preference of how you prefer to do the final reveal.
Yeah.
I know some people are in love with that rubbing motion. Um, some people like to be. Who was it who said this? Was it Danny DeOrtiz who said something along the lines of uh, uh, he was talking about how he makes magic have a bigger effect on his audience, and he mentioned that he's not doing the magic is happening to him. He doesn't see it coming, he
It
doesn't
was
know what's going
Mario
to
Lopez
happen.
said that.
And when it, was it Mario Lopez? Yeah,
Yeah.
see what I mean? I'm terrible with crediting
You're good. You're
people. Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. But he's when the magic happens, he's right there with them,
Yeah,
equally as
reacting to it.
surprised. Yeah, he's reacting to it, not ahead of it.
Yeah.
He's not reacting to the magic like, did you like what just happened? He's equally as shocked.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, maybe maybe that's a better way of looking at that. You know, the ending of that out where it's here
Yeah. I think that's
is
entirely performance
you're
style.
not
Like I
making it
know,
appear.
yeah, it's entirely performance style. I know like it's very
Yeah,
Americanized to do the slow rub and do it because that's what David Copperfield does. But the whole chasing the magic and letting it happen to you, that's a lot more of a Spanish style.
for this, I kind of prefer, and maybe I'm being lazy here, but I kind of prefer the magic is happening to me as well.
Yeah,
Because if I'm the one doing it, that really calls what I'm doing into question significantly more.
definitely. I think the only thing with that is the justification of the rest of the routine. So if you're going to do it at the end, this is happening to me, you have to phrase the rest of the routine that way, which I think most of it is, except for the deck appearance and the watch
The deck
appearance.
appearing.
And the watch appearance. You'd have to
Well, the
phrase
watch
those as
appearance
ways of it's
could be
happening.
simple as if they go with clubs, the watch experience appearance could be, oh look, it's back.
Yeah,
Oh, move on. Let them think of it what they will. You're
yeah.
not, look, my watch is back.
Okay, so then you just have to justify the deck appearance.
It's just how are we going on? Oh, my watch is back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's good
Um,
justification there. You just have to justify the deck appearance then. Under that
um,
pretense.
I have a friend of mine who recently went to Spain for a magic camp, and he said that a lot of what they were focusing on was movements and intentions behind the movements.
Hmm.
So what calls to mind is a justification for the deck appearance is Mario Lopez style. And I know I've seen him do this stuff before. He's like he'll pretend that he is a mime. He's not pretending that he's holding a deck. He'll pretend that he's a mime holding an actual invisible deck.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's got the invisible deck. Mechanics wise, we'd have the deck in Palm or in Tenkai, and we're holding the deck, and maybe we take a second to think, and we transfer it to this hand and transfer it back.
Okay.
Genuine surprise, like we didn't expect. Like, hang on, how like you have the invisible deck, you hand it back to me. I was gonna get your card out, but I don't even remember how to finish this trick because the deck's invisible.
Okay. Yeah, just reframing of the
Oh,
scripting
that's
there.
handy.
Yeah.
There's a bit of performance that needs to be worked into there as well. Um, and I don't see, here's the thing. I don't want to sit here with you right now and actually fully script out the idea I've just explained
Fair.
because it's too personal. It needs to be developed by the person who's going to be doing this trick.
Hmm.
If I were to say, or to script it right now, exactly what I just explained, that would be scripting it for anyone who does this trick, or at the very least, putting a mental block on
Yeah.
anyone who's going to do this trick, because
Boxing them
that's the
in.
idea they have of it. But it's the way I would do it is not what works for everyone.
Yeah,
So
everyone
I'm
has their
not
own
going to
performance
script
style.
what I just explained. I'll just say to be holistic. the if you're going with the magic is happening to the magician as well, he's experiencing it for the first time with you. He's not in control. He's just along for the ride. The justification would be a sudden appear, like, oh, this is inconvenient. If only there something like that, a
Yeah.
sudden
Okay.
appearance. Reaction to that is entirely up to the performer, not something for me to script.
I like it.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's the justification for the deck appearance in that case.
Makes sense. All right, now I'm fully expecting to sometime within the next 2 to 3 weeks, seeing you post a video of you performing this.
All right, you know what? That's fair. I haven't posted in a while. I keep saying I need to start posting, and I'm not doing anything about it. So yes, I can make the guarantee. I'll put a timeline on it because realistically, it's practicing the trick a couple hours,
Yeah.
perfecting this. It doesn't even have to be a perfect script. Just working a little bit on my script and then doing it.
Yeah.
So I'll say within a week, within 7 days from today, day of recording is
January 24th,
uh 24 Saturday, 24th of January. So
before the
within
end of
7 days of
January.
today, yeah, I will have I'll have it posted.
I look forward to
A
seeing it.
video of me doing this, my style, and yeah, why not? I need to get back on the horse anyway. So what a
Definitely.
better way of starting back up than a trick I just created alongside you.
Exactly.
That okay, wow. Have we covered everything here?
I think so.
We got it down to two outs. We
Yeah.
worked out both ways of going through the clubs and the spades under the watch or in the cellophane. Um, we worked out two styles of performing it. I made it appear and it appeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all right, I think that's a complete trick then.
I agree. I agree.
Are you happy to call that done?
I am. I'm very content with it.
This is cool. Okay, so there's one last thing I'm wondering. So the watch appearance, you kind of breezed over that. Is it as simple as a watch with a traditional,
It'd
through the
be
hoop
it'd be easier
put
with the
on
other
there?
kind. I'm currently wearing that
Okay.
kind, but I have the other one. That's gonna be easier and quicker to do. So that's the one I plan on using when I do this specific trick. It's just in my
Yeah.
back pocket, and as they're doing it, I'm behind my back, I'm putting the watch on, and I slide the corner under it. And that's it.
Yeah. I mean, my watch kind of makes a little more sound. Um, there is one other thing. At the start I brought up what is his name? Co-founder of Vanishing Ink.
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Andy? Andy? Oh my God. I really hope he doesn't watch these videos. Vanishing Ink, please send me free shit, please. Sorry for swearing.
You're good, you're good.
Anyway, I believe that there's something in his trick. Reverse logic, I think is the name of his trick, where it happens backwards, and there's a watch appearance in it. And I believe similar to that, the watch, perhaps it's always on the wrist, you know? Perhaps rather than going into a back pocket, you've got something like this, and
Okay,
behind the back, you just do that, right?
that could work
You
too.
have to latch it then,
Yeah.
but it's already on the wrist. You don't have to go fishing through a pocket. That does give you then the one thing of the Queen of Spades corner may have to be tacked or glued in some light fashion
No,
to the
no, no,
back
not
of
at
the
all. Because
watch.
you could either front the back pocket while you're behind your back latching it, slide it in there, or you can have it entirely in front. So like I have the corner in like a finger palm, and I can just like stand like arms clasped in front while they're doing it and just slide
Yeah.
it under that way.
Okay. Yeah.
The
No.
corner
No.
the
That
corner
that
under is
works
super
as
easy.
well. Yeah. It's only a corner, a finger palm, and
Yeah, and
that's a natural
just slide it
stance.
under.
Arms closed.
Yeah,
You want to be open, but it's okay to go in for a second.
yeah,
If you're transferring the attention onto them. I'm asking a question openly, and your answer. I'm ready for it.
yeah,
Arms together. Yeah. Okay. That's it then.
yeah.
That's a trick figured out entirely.
I like it.
This is cool. First thing I'm gonna do after the call is show it to my fiance.
Fair.
I'm not going to fool her. She's gonna call out what I'm doing before I've even started doing it. She's a super genius, but Um, yeah, I'm excited about this. Yeah, I'll have a video of this posted 7 days from now.
I look forward to seeing it. I'll try to do the same.
Yeah, I'd love to compare our two styles
Definitely.
and yeah, because it's the same trick, but I'm certain that it's gonna seem like two entirely different tricks.
I agree. I agree.
That's a great thing though about how that works. Two different people doing the same trick, it could be so different. And I look forward to seeing how different it is.
Definitely.
This is wobbling. Okay. Kian, thank you for having me on.
Thank you for
Is
willing to
there
do this.
anything else on the agenda?
I think that's it. This episode will go up, I don't remember exactly, either middle of February or end of February, somewhere around there. So
Okay.
definitely be ready for that. And we'll have to do this again sometime. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun on this. I've been on a hiatus from creating, and I really enjoyed, jogging the mental gears and getting that creativity back. This
Yeah,
was fun.
I agree. I agree.
Um, I hope this didn't go on longer than you expected.
Good. You're good.
I certainly like to be thorough anyway, so I apologize for forcing you to investigate with me each individual branch of
No,
the
I agree.
trick.
I definitely rather have
I
too many
just
options than not enough.
always, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for inviting me on, Kian.
Thank you for being on. And I know it's kind of short notice planning this, but I think it worked out.
Yeah, no, I was free, so why not?
Fair, fair. All right. Won't take up any more of your time in your day.
Yeah, I have pizza waiting for me downstairs. I was making pizza and I looked and thought, oh, the time. I have to text Kian and get the link to the Zoom.
No
So I
worries.
go downstairs, I put a pizza in the oven, oh, homemade, fresh dough. I shredded the cheese myself.
Oh, nice.
Um, I'm going with no ham this time, a meatless pizza. I
Okay.
would normally put some ham over the sauce beneath the cheese. I'm sure this is something that could be potentially conflict starting for you, but pizza is a tough topic to talk about. Everyone's got their own way of making it, but mine is always from scratch most of the time. Handmade dough, tomato sauce, a very, very fine tomato
Okay.
sauce. Ham slices. You have to tear it though. You can't use like a whole slice.
Yeah.
You have to tear it because with the heat, it'll shrink.
Yeah.
So you tear and then give overlaps everywhere. And then freshly shredded cheese. I normally go with a red cheddar and slices of a mozzarella ball,
Okay.
sliced mushrooms, maybe some sweet corn. And here's the kicker: halfway through the time in the oven, you crack an egg right in the middle.
Okay.
And that is the pizza.
Definitely a little bit more of a European style there.
Yeah, no, my fiance taught me that one, especially with the egg. I had never,
Fair.
when I first heard about it, I thought she was crazy, but then I tried it and I'm crazy for it.
Yeah, I had never heard of the egg in the middle until I went to Italy and they had it there.
Yeah. I went to Italy and I was excited to try it, their way. And I think they used boiled eggs though. They
Yeah.
had boiled an egg and then cut it and added it to the pizza. But they charged, I think, €3 per egg, which I thought was extortionate.
It's definitely a lot.
Anyway, I got 3 eggs.
Fair.
I got 3 eggs. It was worth it, definitely. Anyway, sorry, enough talk of
Oh, you're
pizza.
good.
I'll let you go. Thank you for having me on again. It's been quite an experience.
I agree.
I cannot wait to try this trick out.
Me neither. It'll be fun to practice it today.
The day's over for me, but I'll practice tomorrow.
Fair.
Well, enjoy your day, Kian.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you
rest of yours
again.
as well.
I look forward to the next time.
As do I.